In section 2.4, we're going to be exploring different kinds of angle pairs. There's going to be a couple different definitions here. To start, let's talk about adjacent angles. Similar to what we talked to in trig, adjacent is a fancy way of saying next to. So adjacent angles are two angles that share a ray or they're touching each other. Angles 1 and angle 2 here would be considered adjacent. Same thing with angle 3 and angle 4 here. Vertical angles are across from each other. So here, angle 1 and angle 2 would be vertical angles. Another pair here would be 3 and 4. Something important to note about vertical angles is that they're always congruent, or they're always equal. So what I mean by that is that angle 1 would always be equal to angle 2. So let's say angle 1 is 20 degrees, angle 2 would be 20 degrees. Complementary angles would look something like this. So they're angles that add up to 90 degrees. We can see here that we got a right angle, and angle 1 and angle 2 make up that whole angle. By the angle addition postulate, know that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90. Another example would be this angle 30 degrees here, and this other angle 60 degrees. 30 plus 60 gives us 90, therefore these are complementary angles. Supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So here in this example, angle 1 and angle 2 add up to 180. Another example could be if I had an acute angle of 50 degrees and another angle obtuse of 130 degrees. They add up to 180, so that's what I need to be supplementary. Another way that we would call these is if I would say that two angles make up a linear pair. That also is like another way of saying that they're supplementary. So let's look at an example. Angle KPL and JPL are a linear pair. Find the measure of KPL and JPL. So we're given expressions, so we need to solve for x and then plug in. We know that linear pair means that they add up to 180, so that's kind of the key that we need to make this equation. So let's set this up by doing KPL, which is 2x plus 24, plus JPL, which is 4x plus 36, equals 180. Now let's solve for x. So we'll combine like terms. Now I have 6x plus 6 equals 180. I'm going to get that x by itself. And I'm left with x equals 20. Now finally I'm going to plug this in for KPL and JPL. Angle KPL is 2x plus 24. 2 times 20 plus 24 gives us 64. JPL would be 4 times 20 plus 36, which is 116. To double check, I can add both these together. 64 plus 116 does in fact give us 180. Finally, let's say we have a diagram like this and we want to name a pair of each of the following. To first here, let's start with complementary angles. This might not be the only pair in here, but I just want to find one. Here I can see that right angle, so I'm going to focus on that. Angle ADB and BDC looks like they would be complementary. Next, let's find a pair of supplementary angles. So I want to find two angles that make up a straight line. That would mean that they're supplementary. It looks like angle CDB and EDB make up a linear pair. So I could say that those are supplementary. Linear pair means the same thing. Finally, let's say I wanted to find a pair of vertical angles. I kind of want to find ones that like form an X that are across from each other. Looks like angle ADE and CDF would fit that. So those would be my pair of vertical angles. And I'm done.